Hi, I'm Brian Shutt. I'm the art director at Vicarious Visions. On Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, we actually had two art directors, myself and Sean Murphy. It was such a large project, we split up the roles. I took on most of the character development, and Sean took on tackling the environments. What I do is I oversee all of the concepts that are getting done. I'm looking at the first pass models, the high-res models that are getting done, and then the final in-game models that have been optimized to actually run in the game. Marvel actually had told us to stick with the main Civil War series and Steve McNiven's designs as a starting point. They allowed us to kind of expand on those in some new ways and allow us some flexibility to add some fresh ideas to those designs as well. A lot of what you see now in superhero movies nowadays, the attention to detail that goes into the costume creation for these heroes and villains, we wanted to apply that same level of detail to our game models because we've reached a point where that can really shine. I would work with an art asset coordinator reviewing these 3D models, and we would then provide the team the feedback that they needed using paint overs and writing notes in a development tracker. And we would iterate that way, and eventually when we were happy with that, the model would get optimized, and that optimized model would eventually go to Marvel, and they had a second approval, which they needed to see the model in-game with all of the lighting, so you get a much better idea of how it's actually going to look and play in context with the game.
Took down War Machine, huh? You traitors won't have such an easy time with me.
I'm all about the detail, to a fault sometimes. That's something that oftentimes I've had to forego simply because the tech wasn't there to support it. Now, with all the things that we can do to make the characters come to life, all that detail is going to be seen. So when you see the in-game cinematics and you're playing, Iron Man, and then you're watching him, in a movie, that's the same model. The way that we wound up constructing Thor's armor, I feel, is a personal best. We had a lot of trouble at first trying to figure out what his black armor was made of, because a lot of times in the comics, it's just, it's filled in, just black. You don't see any detail. You draw a lot of panels in comics, so you don't have time to draw every last detail, and sometimes comics are inconsistent, so we have to try to figure out, okay, well, what is this constructed of, and how, if you were going to make this in real life, how would it look? So we kind of developed these sort of hammered plates. The construction of the armor has a lot more overlapping and riveting. The flaps in the front, we actually split in a way that would be more natural for movement for somebody that was actually wearing it. His concept and model, I think, is also one of the best, and it's one of my personal favorites. Seeing the character moving around in the game for the first time, it's just a great feeling, because at that moment it just feels like there's this breath of life that's been breathed into them. Each character is going to feel exactly the way that you want them and that you expect them to feel from page to game.